Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Manchester United could launch a bid for Jadon Sancho today after secret transfer meeting. Jadon Sancho has mostly agreed personal terms with Manchester United. Borussia Dortmund will accept £80 million. Jadon Sancho has Man United transfer hopes as Borussia Dortmund are looking for replacements. Sancho said he wants his future resolved before the start of the Euros. Not so long ago, Borussia Dortmund told Jadon Sancho that he can leave the club this summer. Solskjaer made him a transfer priority. Sky Sports said not so long ago that Man United remain in talks with Jadon Sancho's representatives. Man United is the most realistic destination for Sancho. Earlier on this year, Borussia Dortmund did confirm that they've got a gentleman's agreement with Sancho that will allow him to depart Dortmund this summer. And the Manchester Evening News said quite a few weeks ago that Sancho is pushing for a transfer out of Dortmund. But Sancho expects to complete a move to Man United this summer. He'll be a great signing for us. The reasons is because he'll assure us goals. He's very good at creating chances. He's predominantly a right winger. He will exceed expectations in the Premier League. Still young, got a lot of development in him, and he's got a very, very good friendship with Marcus Rashford. They do talk a lot, so they are the reasons. We should have signed Jadon Sancho last summer, because Sancho at Man United last summer was extremely close. The personal terms had been agreed, the agent fees had been agreed, and the contract and that had been agreed. But the reason we didn't get him last year is because we was reluctant to meet Borussia Dortmund's 108 million valuation. We was only willing to pay so much up front. Dortmund said we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. We missed out on that deadline, so he remained at Dortmund. Fabrizio Romano, who's a very reliable Italian journalist and close to Man United, he's spoken a lot about the Sancho saga, and so too has Bill's Christian Fark. Sancho has endured 4 years at Dortmund. Analysing the vast majority of his career at Dortmund, he's been very, very consistent, but he has endured some bad periods. Dortmund paid just £7 million for him from Man City back in 2017. He's under contract with Dortmund until 2023. The reason Sancho left Man City is because he didn't get assured any first team opportunities, and before he was at City he was at Watford. He was at Watford from the age of 7 to the age of 14. Chelsea have also been in for Sancho. Liverpool were in for him before, and Bayern Munich not so long ago entered the race. If we don't launch the bid today for Sancho, I presume we'll put a bid in for him sometime this week. There is a lot of players that Manchester United are looking at. You obviously know the news on Rafael Varane from Real Madrid. Defensor Central said yesterday that Man United and Chelsea are prepared to double Rafael Varane's wages. Real Madrid have decided to sell. But Rafael Varane has rejected Manchester United. Not so long ago, Varane spoke out on his future. He said it's unlikely his future will be resolved for the summer's European Championships. Man United have already held talks with Rafael Varane's representatives. Romano said not so long ago that Rafael Varane was the main name on Man United's list, and we are waiting to see what happens with his situation at Real Madrid. Real Madrid are demanding £60 million. Not so long ago, Real Madrid rejected a £40 million bid, because that's 20 million less than what they're demanding. Varane said last season that he wants to make a move to the Premier League. His contract talks at Real Madrid stalled a while ago. His current contract expires next year. Back in 2018, Woodward was prepared to sanction a £100 million move for Varane and went in for him 10 years ago. At one point, he said that Chelsea were the favourites to sign Varane and they was prepared to pay around £61 million. Liverpool, not so long ago, held exploratory talks with Varane. But I'd certainly take Varane at Manchester United. The reasons is because he's a world-class centre-half, he's highly experienced, he'd complement Harry Maguire very well in our back line, he'd exceed expectations in the Premier League, and he's got a good pedigree as a player. He's won like 18 major honours. So they are the reasons. Rafael Varane has been a long-serving player at Real Madrid. He's been with them around 10 years. He's made over 300 appearances in all competitions. Real Madrid got him for next to nothing. They paid just €10 million for him from Lens back in 2011. Man United still want a centre-half despite Eric Bailly signing a new contract not so long ago. Declan Rice, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to sign him. Said a few days ago that Man United are going to launch a bidding for Declan Rice to test West Ham's resolve. West Ham value Declan Rice at £100 million. That's too much for Declan Rice. I reckon he's worth from between £60 to £70 million. Declan Rice is actually desperate for Jesse Lingard to seal a permanent transfer at West Ham. Darren Fletcher, our technical director, said not so long ago that Declan Rice asked about Man United when he was on international duty with England. And reports said the other month that Declan Rice is interested in joining Man United, and he asked Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw about life at Old Trafford. And Solskjaer did agree with our recruitment team that Declan Rice would be the perfect signing for the club. Declan Rice would be a great signing for Manchester United because he's predominantly a holding midfielder, and Man United are in search for a holding midfielder, but he can also be deployed as a centre-half. He'd be a good adequate replacement for Matic. Declan Rice is still young, he's got a lot of development in him. Well Premier League proven, learnt his trade in the Premier League, and he would dramatically improve us. Declan Rice has been at West Ham for 7 years, something like that. He's got a contract with them until 2024. Before West Ham, he was at Chelsea. He was in their youth setup for several years, but he never broke into Chelsea's first team. Obviously, there's been a lot of narratives coming out regarding Cristiano Ronaldo. Will Cristiano Ronaldo make a sensational return to Manchester United? Well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants Cristiano Ronaldo. Solskjaer privately rates Cristiano Ronaldo as the best player he's ever played alongside. The Glazers recently held talks with Jorge Mendes regarding Cristiano Ronaldo's future. Reports from Italy have said that Juventus could offer Man United Cristiano Ronaldo plus cash as part of a swap deal for Paul Pogba. At one point, Cristiano Ronaldo held talks with Man United over a 2-year contract. Despite Ronaldo being the age of 36, I presume the vast majority of Man United fans would take him back at the club because he is regarded as one of the best players in the world. Ronaldo's been at Juventus for 3 years. He scored 101 goals in 133 appearances for Juventus. His current contract with Juventus expires next year, and Juventus paid £100 million for him from Real Madrid back in 2018. Cristiano Ronaldo's partners come out and give us an update on his future, and she said Ronaldo is staying. We did have him for 6 years. We had him from 2003 to 2009. When he was with us, he won 3 Premier League titles. He won the Champions League. He won the League Cup. He won the FA Cup. And he won the FIFA Club World Cup. We paid just £12 million for him from Sporting Lisbon back in 2003. We sold him to Real Madrid for £80 million in 2009. He enjoyed like 9 or 10 years at Real Madrid. Ronaldo has won 32 major trophies in his playing career, and he's won 5 Ballon d'Ors. And you know the news regarding Harry Kane. Man United have decided against making a move for Kane. We prefer to sign Sancho over Kane. Our chef, John Murtough, recently agreed the 4-man transfer wish list with Solskjaer. Because recently, Murtough, Mike Phelan and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had a meeting to obviously discuss our transfer plans for this summer. Solskjaer has said that he wants 4 new signings in order for Man United to challenge for the Premier League title next season. We can challenge for the Premier League title next season if we recruit well in the summer transfer window. our board are going to back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with a new 3-year contract and summer signings. Despite our Europa League final loss, the board have promised Solskjaer around 4 new signings. I presume there's some United fans, or maybe a lot of United fans, that think it's a mistake giving Ole this new 3-year deal. Because I think it's pointless myself, because there's no way he's going to see out this new 3-year deal. What I'd do is wait till his current contract expires, see how things have gone, then decide or not whether he deserves the new 3-year deal. Ole's got like just under a year left on the current 3-year contract he signed back in March 2019 when he got the job permanently. Solskjaer has been given a 150 million transfer budget. The transfer budget will increase because I'm expecting us to sell players in the summer transfer window. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is aware of how big the summer transfer window is going to be for himself and Manchester United in general. The summer transfer window will be his 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager, but it's very imperative he gets the players he wants to recommend in, because I don't think he's been backed enough so far. But yeah, he should get the backing he deserves this time. Obviously, reflect on what the board have recently said. Plus, we've got John Murtough, he's our director of football, and it was the right decision getting a director of football in, because I did mention that's one of the structural changes that we needed. We've got Darren Fletcher, he's our technical director, and we've also got Matt Judge, and Matt Judge has been part of the club for a long time. The players I think Man United should offload in the summer transfer window is De Gea. We'll offload him. There has been rumours of a David De Gea and Jan Oblak swap deal. I reckon now De Gea's had his years at Man United, he's endured 10 years at the club, so he has been a long servant. De Gea is obviously now our second choice goalkeeper, but he was our number 1 goalkeeper for a while. A few years ago, De Gea was regarded as the best goalkeeper in the world. He has won everything domestically at the football club, and he has made over 500 appearances in all competitions, but in the last couple of years De Gea has made calamitous mistakes, so reflecting on that, he's become a liability. To De Gea's credit though, he produced his best performances after the Everton collapse in February, and he responded well to Dean Henderson getting the number 1 jersey. And De Gea put a very good performance out in Rome in the Europa League semi-final. But he did cost us the Europa League final because he missed a penalty, and plus he had 11 chances to save a penalty, and he should have saved at least 1 or 2 of them. I think De Gea's got like 2 years left on his current contract, and he's on £375,000 a week. Romero, I'm expecting us to offload him because he's like our 3rd or 4th choice goalkeeper. Most of his appearances have come in the cup games. We got Romero on a free from San Pandora back in 2015. Brought him in under the Louis van Gaal era. Lee Grant, I'm also expecting us to offload him. I recall Lee Grant making 1 appearance, and I think that was against the Stan in the Europa League a few years ago. He's like 37, 38 years of age now. I think we got him on a free from Stoke. Phil Jones, I'm also expecting us to offload him. Phil Jones has always been inconsistent, doesn't get in our 11, and he's been out with injury for a while. He's the only outfield player that's still with us from the Ferguson era. And he's been a long servant. He's endured 10 years at the club. Brandon Williams, we need to loan him out, to gain him more experience and to get a lot more opportunities, because Brandon Williams seldom plays for us. He's our third choice left back. Did play a lot of games the season before last. That's only because Luke Shaw had a couple of periods out with injury. In the games Williams played in though last season, he did quite well. He did well on the final day against Wolves. Weren't bad in the 2-1 defeat to Leicester. I think he played in the Carabao Cup against Brighton at the start of last season as well, did Williams. We played him at right back against Leicester and Wolves, and he's nowhere near effective on the right as he is on the left. Diego Dalot, we need to get rid of him permanently. He's out on loan with AC Milan at the moment. Andres Pereira, we also need to get rid of him permanently. He's out on loan with Lazio at the moment. Nemanja Matic, we need to offload him because he's not one of our first choice midfielders. Despite that though, he still gets a lot of chances, and I've got my strong reservations about Matic because he's always been a static player. We gave him a new 3-year deal before the start of last season. Matic has been at the club around 4 years. We got him in a deal worth 40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. Donny van der Beek, I think Man United need to offload him. Nothing to do with him being a bad player, it's just that he doesn't get enough opportunities at Manchester United. Donny van der Beek only started 4 Premier League games last season. Most of his appearances come from the bench. Reports came out yesterday saying that Donny van der Beek is set for showdown talks with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer over his future. But not so long ago, it said that we will reject any offers for Donny van der Beek this summer, and we reflect on that, we are reluctant to let him go because apparently Solskjaer's got big plans for him. Van der Beek has endured 1 full season at Manchester United. There was rumours of him leaving in January, but obviously we rejected loan offers for him. But last season it did say that Donny van der Beek threatened to quit Man United after 1 season, mainly due to his lack of game time. Ronald de Boer came out and backed Donny van der Beek to become a success at Man United, and he said he still felt loved at the club despite his lack of game time. Van der Beek's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles, and we got him in a deal worth £40 million. Van der Beek's under contract with Man United until 2025. Juan Mata, I'm expecting Man United to offload him, and I think we will offload him. But not so long ago, Solskjaer did say that no decision has yet been made on Juan Mata's future. My element of concern about Juan Mata is lost that yard of pace, plus he's ageing up. Juan Mata's current contract expires soon, is it? There's also an option to trigger his contract for a further year. At the first part of last season, Mata rejected an 18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. Mata's endured 7 years at Man United. He's had a good career with us. He's made over 200 appearances in all competitions, and he's scored around 52 goals, is it? We got Juan Mata in a deal worth 40 million from Chelsea back in 2014. And Anthony Martial, I think we should also offload him. But like updated you recently, Solskjaer made a decision on Martial's future. He's told the Glazers Solskjaer that he wants Martial to stay because he thinks he's got a big role to play next season. Martial was poor in a lot of his games he played in last season. Before he got that knee injury, obviously Martial's got a knee injury, he's been out with a knee injury for a while. But a lot of players will stay at Man United in the summer transfer window, and I reckon there's quite a few players that have got long-term futures at the club. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he isn't the long-term manager for Man United, and I presume a lot of United fans agree with me on that aspect, but I hope I'm proven wrong. Ole does deserve at least another season at Manchester United. Next season is going to be massive for Solskjaer, and I think he is aware of that. He's got to exceed expectations, and he's got to win a trophy next season if he is to remain Man United manager, because if things start to go wrong next season, then there's a very, very good chance the pressure will be back on him and he'll end up getting sacked. Yeah, he's enjoyed 2 full seasons with us now as Ole. He's been in charge of Man United for around 29 months, which is over 2 years. I've got to credit Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in quite a lot of aspects. You know, I didn't expect Solskjaer to do as well as he has done. You've got to say he's done a good job to say the squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager. And he is our best manager since Ferguson. Ole has not yet won a trophy as Manchester United manager, which isn't good. We haven't won a trophy for 4 years. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. But the things we've got to give Solskjaer credit for is that, you know, in his second full season last season, he got us a second place finish in the Premier League. That's no achievement, but you can see that progress was made from Ole Solskjaer's first full season. He got us to the Europa League final. I know we lost the Europa League final, but he still got us to the final. It was his first major final as Man United manager. Last season, we went the entire season without losing away from home in the Premier League. He also got us to the FA Cup quarter-final, and he got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. Ole did well in his first full season, guided us to 3 semi-finals, got us a 3rd place finish. We are in the Champions League for next season, which is good news from Man United perspective. Now, obviously, with us being in Champions League next season, we will attract players to the elite level. Solskjaer has made good signings as Man United manager. So far, he's spent almost £300 million. But as yet, he hasn't got all the players he wanted to recommend in, and in that aspect, the blame stems from the board. Solskjaer's got rid of a lot of the deadwood as well since he's come in. Another thing I've got to credit Solskjaer for, when he got appointed in as Man United manager, he assured that everybody would get their chances to express themselves, including the young players, and more or less everybody has been given their chances. So they are the positives. You know, Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over at Man United it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. Like I said to you yesterday, he's still lucky to be Man United manager. I think with Solskjaer being a club legend, that's what's basically saved him. Disregarding being a club legend, I can almost assure he wouldn't have been Manchester United manager. But reflecting how long Solskjaer's been at the club, he has gained some managerial experience and he has learnt quite a bit on the job. You know, before he was with us, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde. He enjoyed 2 spells at Molde. And before Molde, he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous. So yeah, I do have my concerns about Ole. You know, if we do eventually sack Solskjaer, who will come in to replace him? I just think we need to get someone in who has got the big club arrogance, someone with a proven pedigree, and someone who's going to suit, you know, the strappings of the club. I went through with you yesterday who I would take at Man United to replace Solskjaer. Because, you know, there is some Man United fans that are Ole out reflecting on that Europa League final loss. So yeah, so I'll be doing more videos later on today, guys. Drop me comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.